If things in your life and for you as a person just feel off and wrong and you're feeling really unaligned with the person that you know you're supposed to be and the life you're supposed to be living, it's probably because you're experiencing wounded feminine and masculine energy. If you feel burnt out, overwhelmed, anxious, or depressed, I can say with near certainty that you're living too much in your masculine energy and are dealing with wounded feminine energy. We all have both energies within us, but I'm going to explain how these energies become wounded and, most importantly, how to fix it. There are timestamps below in the description if you want to skip right to the part where I talk about how to actually fix it, or any part of the video that calls to you. I'm Amanda, a busy full-time working mom, and I teach women just like you how to thrive in your feminine energy despite all the masculine demands in your life. Below, you'll find a link to sign up for my free weekly newsletter where I share simple tips to activate your feminine energy and help you become more aligned with the you-est version of you possible. Now, the first thing that I need you to know is that feminine and masculine energies are not specific to gender. However, the majority of women feel their best and the most aligned when they are in their feminine energy. Today, we're covering what living predominantly in masculine energy looks like, how to identify it, how it feels, and most importantly, how to heal it. And the goal here isn't to be 100% in your feminine energy all of the time. That's not possible, and it's also not even a version of life that you want to live, because masculine energy isn't all bad, but it's the imbalance between the two energies that are a problem. It's when you, an inherently feminine woman, are most dominantly operating in your masculine energy that it's then a problem. For most women, a balance of being in your feminine energy around 80% of the time and in your masculine about 20% of the time is what's ideal. Sadly, that just isn't the reality for most women. Most women these days are doing 50-50 at best, but most often the scales tip to being more so in the masculine energy, for that being so much more dominant than the feminine energy. Because today, women are often raised in a patriarchal society that emphasizes masculine models of success. Your worth is determined by how much you can do, how much you can produce. There's no value in rest. You're expected to work and raise the kids and do everything for them and make more money and keep your house pristine and impress others and have a wild sex drive and exercise and eat right. And oh my God, it goes on and on and on and on forever. And of course, I'm generalizing, and every woman and every family has their own situation and nuances, but that is an accurate generalization for women in today's world. No wonder your energies are all out of whack. We don't live in a world where embracing and prioritizing our feminine energy is even understood, let alone valued, and certainly not encouraged, at least not widely. The world is not designed for us. It's designed for men and people who inherently operate like them, and we're expected to adapt to that. No wonder so many women are burnt out and overwhelmed and depleted and stressed and suffering and have wounded feminine energy. So before we move on, I have a couple very important things that I need to say. The first thing that I want you to hear is this: it's not your fault. It really, really is not. And the second thing I want you to hear is that it absolutely is possible for you to become realigned with yourself and activate your feminine energy despite the masculine demands of your life. I mean, that's what my whole mission is all about. But I also understand if it feels overwhelming, because I've been there. I clawed my way out of a place where I was so far gone in my masculine energy, and it felt like every aspect of my life was suffering because of it. And it didn't happen easily or quickly, but I was able to get on the other side of it, slowly but surely. Even when at first it felt like, yeah, well, that all sounds well and good, but I can't achieve that in my life because of all of my XYZ life circumstances. No, I'm telling you, no matter your circumstances or the masculine demands of your life, this kind of shift is not only possible for you, but it will be easier than you think, because becoming more aligned with your feminine energy is about doing less. It's not about doing more. And the first step to overcoming this is understanding that embracing our feminine side allows us to be more present and compassionate and emotionally available for ourselves and our loved ones. And once we begin to understand it, then we can start to learn how to fix it. And then I guess the last thing that I want to drive home before getting into the real meat of this video is why you absolutely must rebalance these energies. Balancing these energies leads to fulfillment and empowerment. And I'll tell you, there is nothing in the world like finally living life as the youest version of you possible. And on the flip side of that, when a woman is living predominantly in her masculine energy, it leads to distress and dis-ease caused by the tension of living out of alignment. It is not a small thing. And whether you recognize it and identify it or not, it is wreaking havoc on your life to some degree. One of the most painful characteristics of a woman living predominantly in her masculine energy is that she's living for the future without the ability to be present. And that is a sure sign of dominant masculine energy. And I don't want that for you. Healing your wounded energy is crucial for a life filled with joy and fulfillment. So now let's actually move on to how to heal your wounded feminine energy. First, we need to really understand masculine and feminine energy. Like, what are they, right? What does that even mean? So the masculine energy is the doing energy, and the feminine energy is the being energy. Characteristics of the masculine energy are things like thinking, structure, logic, doing, accomplishing, conquering, leading, forcing, protecting, providing, giving, taking action, and discipline. When we are doing something, we are activating and working from our masculine energy, whereas characteristics of feminine energy are things like softness, being, surrendering, nurturing, feeling, being in tune with your intuition, sensuality, transparency, openness, ease, vulnerability, receiving, and peace. When we are simply being in flow and enjoying something, we are activating our feminine energy. Now let's dive a bit deeper into the key traits of masculine energy. The need for control and clutching onto it with an iron fist is a big one. The need to control every aspect of your life. Your kids, your husband, the finances, the household, things that work beyond the scope of your role. In a sense, everything. And it's probably no surprise to you to hear that micromanaging can create stress and a serious lack of joy. This is one of the biggest shifts I made when I first started my journey to healing my wounded feminine energy, and it to this day has made one of the biggest impacts of my life and the peace I experience. Next is perfectionism, the need for everything to be perfect. From everything like your baby sleep schedule to how you look to the work that you do, perfectionism leads to anxiety, and good enough really is good enough. And let me tell you, it's a real relief to feel that. Feeling guilt when it comes to relaxation. Feeling guilty when you're not doing much of anything or enjoying simple pleasures, or the need to always appear busy and productive. That is the exact opposite of feminine energy. And then we have aggressiveness and defensiveness. And it's probably not surprising to hear that being overly aggressive is a sign of masculine energy, but so is defensiveness. The confident feminine woman is absolutely strong, but she is not aggressive because she knows that that does not serve her. Similarly, she knows that she doesn't need to waste her precious energy on defending herself or making sure that others have a certain perception of her. She knows that the opinion of her that others have is not her business and is not worth her energy to pour into. Speaking of which, I think I've given enough attention to how to identify the negative, and now it's time to move on to the positive part, how to actually heal your wounded feminine and masculine energies. And like most things in life, the first step is awareness. Reflect on when you are in your masculine energy. Identify the areas of your life where you feel the need to be in control or are aggressive. Then connect with the feminine. You need to get out of your head and into your body. And you can do this with activities like walking, especially outside in nature, actually feeling your emotions, meditating, and engaging your senses with things like listening to music or making aromatic teas, having baths, aromatherapy, etc. And you must learn to actually feel your emotions. Know how to label them and move through them, not just push them down and away. Now, this one is huge. I mean, they all are, but personally, this specifically has literally changed my life. You've got to slow down. And naturally, I have a lot to say about this topic, so I made a video all about how slowing down saved my family, so you can check that one out next. because I think it's an important one to hear, but here are just some ways to slow down. Simply reduce the number of tasks that you have to do and the obligations that you have. Take up yoga and focus on your breath. Stop multitasking. Stop doom scrolling. Greatly reduce the amount of information and stimulation that your brain takes in. Find relaxing hobbies that you love. Protect your peace at all costs. You've got to learn to be okay asking for and accepting support, whether that be hiring help when you can or leaning on the people who love you. And embrace chivalry, because it's not dead. And I would dare to say that it's women in their masculine energy who have done the most to hurt and suppress chivalry. Hot take, I know. Being an independent woman who never accepts help only hurts you and your own energy. Accepting and embracing help does not make you weak. In fact, doing so will lead to a more balanced feminine energy level. And if you have a masculine partner, here's the kicker. They need this shift just as much as you do, because they feed their masculine energy, which of course is what we want, by giving and providing and serving. So the more that you let them and even ask for them to, the better off both of your energies will be. You'll literally be happier, both of you, when you just start asking for more help. We call that polarity, and it's a beautiful thing. And learn how to graciously accept compliments. So many women are terrible at this. Stop doing that thing where you say, oh, thanks, but no more. Just thank you so much. The end. Take action from a place of self-love. Like I said before, we are not aiming to be in our feminine energy 100% of the time. No, we still need to do things. We still need to live life. We still need to operate in our masculine energy sometimes. But the point is that we need to make a shift from toxic discipline, from hustle culture, and move towards a place of doing things from a place of self-care and self-love. Moving from proving self-worth to self-love just for our own benefit. And the thing is, the best long-lasting results come from actions that are rooted in self-love. Taking steps in life motivated by self-love rather than external validation will always take you further, both in the sense of objectively getting results, but more importantly, when you do that, you are ensuring that you're pursuing something that you actually want to be putting your energy into, something that fires you up and is meaningful to you. And that cannot be underestimated. You have to set healthy boundaries. Don't overgive to those who don't deserve it, or even to those who maybe absolutely do deserve it, but you simply don't have the capacity to. You must be selective with your time and your energy. Respect your self-worth enough and do not compromise on your boundaries. Your self-worth is not tied to career success and financial status, or how much you can do or produce, or how clean your house is, or how good you are at doing any variety of things. Your true value as a woman lies far beyond those kind of successes. It goes far beyond what you can do or how good you are doing it. You simply just existing in alignment is enough, and a gift to the world and the people around you. And what a lot of this really comes down to is being able to surrender and be in flow. Let life unfold naturally. Let go of what needs to be set free and accept what is. Stop forcing things so hard. Trying to make things fit unnaturally will always have a negative impact on your life, and you will feel it. If something feels wrong, it is wrong. Hear your intuition, pay attention to it, and take action on it. Your intuition is the voice to your feminine energy. Listening to your intuition is key to becoming aligned with your feminine energy. I know that if I asked you to think back to a time when you ignored your gut feeling, you could not only do so and recall that time, but you would also recall the consequences that came from ignoring that gut feeling. Trust and act on your intuitive feelings. Your aspirations come from divine inspiration and require a very fine balance of feminine receiving and masculine action. I know that was probably a lot to take in, but you've got this. Don't forget to check the description box below and sign up for my free weekly newsletter where I share simple tips to get in your feminine energy, encouragement, and anything under the sun that will help make your life easier, more enjoyable, and get you more aligned with your true self. Next, I recommend this video for, I think, 13 total micro habits that will easily boost your feminine energy. I look forward to talking to you next time. Thank you so much for being here. Subscribe for more videos about embracing your feminine energy and living the life of your dreams. Stay aligned.